Hi there. There are times where periventricular leukomalacia can be caused in the NICU. And in order to prove that case, that the NICU was actually negligent and caused the PVL, we take very certain specific steps as birth injury lawyers. Here are what those steps are. The first thing we do is figure out the timing of the injury. If the PVL can be tracked down very specifically as far as the timing goes, we can then determine whether or not it was in the NICU that the PVL was caused. For example, if we could figure out that the PVL was caused during pregnancy, then obviously the NICU was not at fault. But if we can get closer to delivery and post-delivery, then we know the NICU might have an issue there. The second thing that we do is we look to see what did the NICU do in terms of management. Typically, we're looking at the ventilation that is given to the patient or the baby in order to determine how much oxygen the baby actually received. So we'll look at the ventilator settings, we'll look at the oxygen levels and the cord blood gases to understand a little bit more as far as how the baby was progressing throughout the NICU stay. The third thing we do is through those records and through that treatment, we determine if there were any actual negligent acts there. If the standard of care was not being met in any capacity, then we can link that NICU breach of conduct or negligence and connect it to the actual PVL diagnosis. The last thing we do is we bring in an expert, typically a neonatologist, somebody who has dealt with PVL cases before and can talk about what the standard of care is in the NICU and how this particular hospital did not meet that standard of care. If you have a child that suffered from PVL and you believe that the NICU might have been the cause of your child's PVL, then you need to speak to a birth injury lawyer to know a little bit more about your legal rights and see if you have a case. My name is Adam Funk. I am the owner of Funk Law Group. I'm a lawyer and I do handle birth injury cases and I handle PVL cases from the NICU. I'd be happy to chat with you free of charge. We can schedule a time to chat over text or a call or even email.